And that's the New World Rising, of course, Mama Cass Elliott right here at 744 WLNG. We have a special guest in the studio. You've heard her here on WLNG before. You heard her as Holly C. Well, she is back now as Holly Gaskin. Welcome to the show.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it
Good to
has.
be back.
And we're not counting up the new hits anymore.
Right, I know, you're oldies. Sounds good.
There you go. And, of course, all over the world on the World Wide Web, too, so that's a cool thing. Last time you were here about 2 years ago.
That's right.
And when you were here, we were talking about a book that you had published. It was on the internet, and it was called The Little Company, right? That was the first one you put out.
The first one was A Little Company, and that was followed by Tricked, and now I'm about to release my first ebook.
Well, tell us about that. The ebook is an interesting concept where anybody can go on the web and pretty much they can order it and read it right there, I guess.
Yeah, on the computer, on your e-reader, on your smartphone, and it's called Finding My Father, A Search for the Truth in the Face of Alzheimer's. And it's my first nonfiction piece as well. And it's about my 30-year search for my dad, because after he and my mom divorced when I was very small, he visited me for a few years till I was about 6 or 7, and my mom remarried. And then he kind of vanished, and it took me 30 years to kind of track him down. And there were a lot of obstacles that got in the way, and a lot of false leads, a lot of drama, a lot of red tape. And when I finally found him, he is in the early stages of Alzheimer's now and living in Boston, and the story is about that.
It's an interesting story, and of course you did a lot of research into finding this, and this was just something from the heart, right?
Yeah, not only about the relationship between me and my dad, and you know, finding his family, and just kind of researching my past, a lot of stuff about even my mom I never knew about. But I talked to a lot of experts about in Alzheimer's and elder care and brain health, and it's just all put together in this neat little book. And it's going to be available probably the first week of August. And if people go to my website, which is hollygaskin.com, they can just sign up for an email notification when it's ready for purchase.
All right, so that's Holly, Gaskin, and you can find it there. So you've been pretty busy. You've been upstate, doing a little radio, and come back down here. Of course, you got your reunion in Mattituck this weekend, right?
Yeah, class of 1990, Mattituck High School, and later on this morning we're going to be taking a tour of the school, which is greatly expanded, of course, since 20 years since I graduated.
I'd say so, yeah.
And then the Holiday Inn Express tonight is the big reunion. We had an informal get-together yesterday at 4 Doors Down. It was just great to see a lot of my old classmates and how they've changed, what they're doing these days, and it's good to be back on Eastern Long Island.
And they get to see the big radio star. There you go.
Yeah, we've got a New York State Broadcasters Award, our morning show at Froggy 97 for 4 years.
Well, we can say that. Yeah, last time you were here, you couldn't say what the station was.
Yeah.
But now we can say Froggy 97.
Yeah, things
a
have
big
changed.
100,000 watt station up in Watertown. If you're ever up on the I-81 up north of Syracuse, you can tune in Holly. She's known as Cricket. And her partner James Pond, who I'm also friends with on Facebook, and he has a lot of great things to put on Facebook, and he's going through the whole thing with his, he's got apartments up there and stuff, and he's quite the landlord, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I mean the thing with us radio people is it's usually that's not the only thing we do.
Oh, and he has a wedding service too, the DJ service.
JPS, yeah, jpsmusic.net.
There you go. But you two have a great time on the air every morning, as you say, award-winning New York State Broadcasters Awards. How many years in a row has it been?
Well, it's 4 non-consecutive, 5 if you count last year because of the economy. They didn't have it last year at all.
Okay.
George, the Sagamore, but yeah. So we're proud of what we do, and I love radio and writing equally. I would never give one up for the other, but if I ever get a bestseller, you can bet I'd get a place, a summer place at least out here on Long Island, because this is where I'm from. Of
course, and so you played the country up there. You really got a lot. I know you had a love of the new hits here, and you have a love of country music, and so you're really pretty well-rounded at what you do now.
Yeah, I guess so. You know, I love country music, and I love the oldies, my favorite genres, and I love listening to WLNG. As soon as we come out here, we can get you in. We have it on the radio all the time. And we do too. We listen back and forth. Now, it wouldn't be complete if we didn't bring hubby in here. Yeah, my husband Pete is here. Pete Gaskin, who is also on Froggy on the weekends as Pete Moss, right? Yeah, that's right. Sydney was inducted into the New York State Broadcasters Hall of Fame. That was one of the most incredible things in my radio career. Is my co-host and I went to the New York State Broadcasters Awards to get our award, and Barbara Walters was presenting it. Wow. It was incredible. So I didn't know Paul Sidney was going to be there. And I say Paul Sidney and Ann and Chris Buckout and Mr. King, everyone's there. I'm like, and just to get a picture of James Pond and Paul Sidney together, it's like that. I'm glad everybody got to meet, you know. So there you go. All right, so once again, let's talk about your book. That's why you're here. Of course, you want to talk about your ebook, and once again, at Holly Gaskin, GASKIN.com. And once again, your book is entitled Finding My Father, Search for the Truth in the Face of Alzheimer's, and it will be out the first week of August.
All right, so if you'd like to hear Cricket, you can go to froggy97.com, or you get tired of Gary. I have some bad news. I forgot to start the MP3 in the back. Oh, anybody record this, please hold on to it because we want to get a copy of it. But anyway, Holly, thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. Hang out a little bit more if you like.
Thanks for having me.
Before you have to toddle off to Matatuck and enjoy the reunion. The last time you were here, we went to the Polish Fair. I remember that.
Yeah, that was fun.
So there you go. So have a good time over there in Riverhead tonight, and all the fun with your classmates there. And it should be quite a big deal.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right. Holly Gaskin, Pete Gaskin, there you go, right here on WLNG, the former Holly C, on to bigger and better things and much more wattage. They're 100,000 watts, we're 6,000, but, you know, what's a couple of watts a month, friends. Anyway, it's 7:50 here on WLNG Radio.